Hi guys, my name is Fongani. In this video I want to explain a letterhead. So most of people like on N4 they struggle, they don't understand the concept of letterhead. So this video is to explain, especially for the purpose of the assignment. So I'll explain both letterhead and manuscript signs. Let's start with manuscript signs before we go to, or let's explain all of them same time. So I'll use this PowerPoint presentation to do that. Okay, firstly, manuscript signs. So manuscript signs are signs that will appear in your question paper, and these signs, when they appear, they are there to instruct you. It is the instructions to you, to instruct you how do you do 1, 2, 3. For example, you can see here there is LC, so it means the sign is LC. If you see LC corresponded with a paragraph or the line, it means that in the paragraph sometimes you will see the letter has been stroked through like this. So it says change the letter that is been stroked through in the next to the lowercase. So the result should look like this. So the word memorandum at the margins of the paper you've seen LC. So and then they strike through these letters, letter M, letter I, and letter C. It means that you must lowercase the letters. As you can see, the M was big here, the M is small here. This manuscript sign you see, it means that you change the letter, that text or that has been underlined with 2, or let me put it like this, change the letter marked in text with 2 lines underneath to uppercase. For example, here, the word bank, the letter B has been underlined with 2, then in LTD, the L is been underlined with 2 lines. So it means you will change B to be a bigger B. You will change L to be a smaller L. As you can see, the outcome is this one. It should be like this. So there are many manuscript signs. This is SP caps. It means space cap. US, it means apply underscore to the text. In caps, it means type the letter that has been underlined, like for example I and M is been changed to be I and M to be in caps. Okay, so there is a lot of manuscript signs. Then I'll share this note of manuscript signs, but my point is that if you are studying towards computer practice and information processing, your question papers, when they come back, they will come back with manuscript signs. So you have to know what that manuscript sign means. For example, this one, it's a run-on sign. It means you take this text, you put it here. If it's cancelled and it has dotted, it means you remove it. But if the word states is there, if the word states or the tick is there, if both or one of these are here, it means you retain it. You don't remove the word, and then you will remove the ones that don't have a dotted underline. So these are just the kind of notes. So it means that this is the insert sign, for example, number 19. So it means that you should actually study the manuscript signs and understand them. So that's the first part of manuscript signs. So that when they appear in the question paper, you know. For example, the hash, it means you must insert the space. This is the insert sign. So if it's like this and it has a comma, it means you must insert a comma where you see the sign. For example, here, you see this one, they've put it here. The outcome is this one, there is a comma. Okay, this one, they've put it here. So here there is a semicolon. So no, it's a colon. Sorry for that. It's a colon. So it means that this manuscript sign is what you must learn and understand actually. Okay. There is a lot of them. So you have the only way is to learn and understand them. so that when you find them in the question paper, they don't puzzle you. Okay, that was manuscript science. So now we are explaining what is a letterhead. Okay, before we even explain, we will demonstrate an example. We'll do the example of the letterhead after. But what is a letterhead? A letterhead, remember when we were in high school, we were taught that if you are writing a business letter, it must have two addresses, the address of the writer and the address of the receiver. So the letterhead is the address of the writer, whereby when you design it, you put together, number one, you put the address itself. You can put a business name and a business logo and information such as contact information, telephone number, telephone number, email address, physical address, fax number. So those are the information that you put there as a letterhead. But now in a letterhead, you put them in a way that you group them together. It's the address plus the name of the business plus other information, especially contact information. If those information are there in a letter, you put them in a letter, we call them letterhead. That's a letterhead. Now there are many ways of doing a letterhead. You can use text boxes and pictures to do that. You can use a tab stop function. It's the one that I'll demonstrate with. I'll use a tab stop for today. And if you like to, you can use columns in the Word documents to create a letterhead. For those who are confused and don't know what's a letterhead. So for you to understand a letterhead, firstly you must understand a business letter. Okay? So the following are the components of business letter. So a business letter has a letterhead, it has a deadline, it has inside address, it has a salutation, it has the body, it has a complimentary clause, a handwritten signature space. So handwritten signature is a space. It means that if you are composing a business letter, you have to omit line spacing, maybe 5 to 7 line spacing, so that you occupy a space for you to sign after you've written that letter. It means that you will compose the letter, you print it out, and then before you send it, you sign it with a hand. So you need to consider a space for handwritten signature, and then you've got a signature block. A signature block, probably it could be your name and your position in that business or company. If you are a CEO and your name is Bongani Mahlangu, you say Bongani Mahlangu, and then you write CEO, Chief Officer. If you are a sales manager, and then there are other components such as enclosure and the abbreviation of the writer and the abbreviation of the typist or the secretary that has typed the abbreviation. I mean, not abbreviation per se, but I wanted to say initials. Okay. So a letterhead is a pre-printed heading on top of a document that displays the company's branding, content information, including their name, logo, address, phone number. It serves as a professional identity of a sender, provides the contact details for the recipient. It creates a memorable impression that reinforce the brand, so that people can know the brand. Okay, and then a letterhead is at the top margins. Always you put them as the first address at the top margins. Okay, how can you create a logo and a branding? So to create a logo, we won't do that. We'll have another video that will explain how people can create a logo for themselves if they've got EUC. There is no need to hire a specialist to create a logo for you. You can use shapes and text boxes to do that, to create a logo for your company. can do that. We'll do it one of the day, but in this purpose, we're trying to explain to those who are confused about the letterhead what it is. So we will just jump that one. So while we are continuing with the components of the business letter, it has a deadline. So a deadline is in the business letter, I sit just after the letterhead. So it means that after you've put your letterhead, you will then put your date in which the letter is being written. But this is not mandatory to put it after. To put it after letterhead, the deadline is not mandatory, but the date is mandatory. You must have a date there. So you can, some they prefer to put a date just after inside address. So inside address, it means the address of the receiver. If you were to advise, or if I were to advise you about the deadline, I would just put it after the letterhead, because 80% of letters that are composed for business, they have a date after a letterhead. Okay. So after you have put inside address, it means you will put, after you've put the date, it means you'll put the inside address. The inside address is the address of the receiver to whom the letter is written to, the names of the receiver, the residential address, and all that. A salutation line, it's when you are saying, "Dear Mr. Vongani, dear Mr. whoever." So after the salutation line, you can insert the subject line. Some they call it, it's a subject line. Some they call it, I forgot the name, but let us call it a subject line for now. The subject line. Then after the subject line, you will insert the body. And then after you insert the body, you will insert the complementary clause. And then complementary clause is when you say you're sincerely or you're faithfully. And then the signature block just after the spacing, line spacing. Okay, and then, these are the components. I've took this one from the internet, from Google, this one. If you can Google the letterhead. But it is pretty much a good example, okay? I'm just disclaiming this part of a letter component, but a lot of the work is mine, so I don't know if maybe there's a plagiarism on that one, but the components, I saw it to fit for me to use it because it has simplified everything. Okay, let us do the practical component of what you are doing. So now I'm showing you how you can create a letterhead. So for you to create a letterhead, you go to, I'm creating a new document. So to create a new document, you will right click. After right clicking, you go to new. After going to new, you choose the document that you want to create. So if you want to create Word document, you choose Word, and then you double click to open the Word document. Okay. After you have opened the Word document, now these are the top margins. So when we speak about top margins of the page, we're speaking about these margins, like this space, this one. Normally, here after the header, where people put the header and whatsoever, it's margins. So towards margins, I'll put the letterhead. I've said now I'll use a text stop to do that, to put my letterhead. It's up to you how do you do it. You can use text boxes, you can use paragraphs, you can use columns. I'll use text stops. Okay. So firstly, for you to set a text stop, you have to tick here on ruler. If you tick the ruler will appear here. This is just a guide, the ruler. It's a guide for you where do you want to put your text stop. So let us insert the text stop. So to insert a text stop, you first clear them. You go to paragraph dialog box launcher, and then when you launch the paragraph dialog box launcher is this one. This one is a paragraph dialog box, and then you click here on text stop settings. So when you look at the ruler, it has 0 to 15, and then for us to set a text stop to where we want our letter to we have to just type here the numbers that are in the ruler. So let's say, for example, we'll come back to that one. Let's say, for example, business, it's Makumalo Hairdresser. So the name of the business is Makumalo. Now it will depend to the exam instructions. Then you'll follow the instructions according to the exams and all that. But normally for the exams, finally from DHET, Department of Higher Education, they create a letterhead for you. They just want you to retrieve a letterhead, and then you will then type in the letterhead. But then this video is mainly for the assignment that people are confused about, so that they can understand what is a letterhead. Okay, let's continue. So let's say you are doing a business for Makumalo dressmaking maker. Okay, Makumalo dressmaker is a business. So this is the name of the business. So you can format it according to the instructions from the exams. Okay. And what I will do then, I use a Britannic bold, size 18, uppercase. Okay, that's what I've used for this name. Then I press enter. Then after I've pressed enter, I'm going to lodge a paragraph dialog box. I go to tabs, and then I go to tabs. After going to tabs, I'm setting it at 0.5. So I press 0. Okay, let me do it like this: 0.5, and then I press set. Now I get this message. So if you are trying to set tabs and you get this message, it means that the comma that you have used, you have to change it. Therefore, let's change the comma. It's 0.5 like this. So 0.5 like this. So then you say set. Once you say set, it comes down here. Okay. So it means the first tab stop, it will be here. So the second tab stop, you can put it here at 9. Let's make it 9.2. So you say 9.2, and then you say set. Okay, and then after set, it's okay. Just double checking. It's 0.5 and 0.2, and then set and okay. Sharp. Then you have set your tab stop. When you look at your ruler has marks here where you have set your tab stop. So the first thing you do, you press the tab in your keyboard. When you press the tab, it jumps to where you have set the tab stop. And then let's say maybe this business is at raw report, so you will type here raw report. Now this one, you go back to according to the instructions of the exams. It depends what font sizes they want. You pay attention to manuscript size as well. It will be manuscript size, but this video is just for demonstration. So I've changed back to Korean U, the text, and then the size is 12 pt, and then I continue, and then let's say maybe your business is at raw report. Then you type here raw report. Oh my god, the spelling. Okay, ignore the spelling, guys. The video is for you to understand a letterhead. So let's say it's raw report, and then after you have typed raw report, there is no spelling for raw report, and then you press tab. When you press tab, it jumps to the second tabs. Let's say maybe the business is at through the house. No, you type through there, and then house. Through the house, and then you press tab. Okay, up until it comes straight with these tabs, and then let's say maybe you also type the you insert maybe let's say you insert a symbol. For you to insert a symbol, let's say maybe you insert this symbol, for example. After you insert this symbol, and then you type 011, and then 543 889. Let's say maybe this is a cell number. It's a office number for your business. And then after you've put those, you press tab. Maybe the address is X478 raw report. Okay, So you say raw report, and then you press tab, you press tab, you press tab, and then after pressing tab, maybe you have a fax for your business. You insert a fax symbol, and then you type 011 546. Then it change here, maybe it's 90 78. Maybe it's a fax for your business. Okay. And then after you've put the fax for your business, you press tab, and then after pressing tab, you here it's a raw report, Johannesburg, for example, or let's put the raw report here. Press tab, and then you put raw report here, and then you also press tab. Okay, press tab. Maybe here you have your WhatsApp, or let's say maybe you have your email address here. Then you type Makumalo @gmail.com. Okay. Maybe it's an email address for your business. Then here it's a city code 1728, 1737, or something like that, so that it's a postal address. Actually, when you look at this, okay, when you look at this, it's a postal address. When you look at this, it's the information about the business. It's at raw report. You can contact them at 011 546. You can fax at 011 546 9076. You can email them, like here. This is a location building. The building is through the house. The address is X3453, raw report 1737. See, the name of the business is Makumalo Dressmaker. And then all this information, when it's combined, is called a letterhead. And then they serve as the first address. When you are writing a letter, you remember when you are writing a letter, you have two addresses, the first one and the second one. So the first address, you can put the letterhead in the modern life. So for this one, if you like to, you can press design and go to page and borders, and then you select borders. This is page border, but you select borders, and then you select under. This is all border. Okay, you change this text to be paragraph. Okay, and then you select under, and then after selecting under, maybe you choose the bolder border, and then you say okay. So in this way, your letterhead it has been underlined, so it will appear like this. So you can at least type the date here. You can type the date here. You go to insert, and then you say date. Normally they want you to start the descending order. It means you start with the year. So maybe let's put this one, for example, and then you say okay. Oh, my mouse. Okay, so it means after here you will type the inside address. I'm looking at my recording, I don't see it counting, but anyway. So it means that here you will put the inside address. Let's say the person that you are sending a letter to is at Sehlakwane, so you say P.O. Box. You start with your name. Maybe you are typing it to Miss Makakula, and then here you can also set tabs here again for this inside address. let's set tabs for this inside address. So you go to tabs and you clear all, and then you want it to be 0.5 to be aligned with that one of the, and then you say set, and yeah, that's all. And then you press tab, then it jumps to 0.5, and then maybe let's say the person is Miss Makakura. Okay, you go pressing tabs, and then they say maybe it's at Sihlakwane, so it's PO box. You don't use enter, you are using tabs to go underneath. PO box 474, sorry, there's a mistake there. And then you type Sihlakwane, and then it's 1047, for example. And then after 1047, now you already have the date here, this one. Okay, you already have a date. My mouse. Oh my god, let me just quickly grab another mouse. Okay, let's say, okay, just to align everything, use the same tab, and then you press enter, and then you press tab, and then you press tab, and then you here, this is a rotation line, Miss Makako. Okay, thank you. That's all I have for today, because the purpose was to show you what is the letterhead. So this part, the top part of the letter, this one, is called a letterhead, and we've created in this video. So for other computer practice, information processing, video related, please subscribe. I'll be posting videos like this, maybe 2 per week. So if you are studying EUC, end user computing, or computer practice or information processing, this channel is for yours. Thank you and cheers. Danko.